What should the real goal of your life be in your 20s? And what do most people get wrong?
For that answer, I would really recommend reading my book, Mastery, because I go into that quite deeply. So you need to think of your 20s, which is by far the best years of your life. Let's get that straight first of all. It was the best years of my life, right? It's the most exciting. You're young, you look good, you got energy, you dress well probably, I hope. The thing that you want from your 20s is you want an apprenticeship, right? You want to learn. You want learning skills. You want to learn skills, solid skills, so that by the time you turn 30, which is a critical turning point in your life, I said the 20s are your most fun. The 30s are the key part of your life, which is my key part, the late 30s. When you're 30, you want to I had fun, I had adventures, I traveled, I dated, I did everything I wanted, but I also learned things. I learned A, B, and C skills. You don't have to learn just one skill. You can learn 3 skills, 3 things that you master, that you spent 7 years going into deeply. But if you wasted your 20s, if you just had fun, if you just did whatever you wanted to, by the time you hit 30, nothing will stick together, nothing will cohere. You've been stretched too thin. But if you're linear, laser focused, I'm just going to go to Goldman Sachs, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to get paid $150,000 a year. You're not spreading yourself out. You're not learning enough skills. You're not developing yourself inwardly. Learning a skill is a skill, but learning is a skill. And in order to learn, you have to be able to put up with boredom, frustration, and tedium. So if you're able to put up, because right now, young people have it really, really bad because things are so easy for them that they don't have the patience to learn something. They just want to get onto ChatGPT. Everything is fed to them. You need to be able to put up with the tedium, the boredom that learning a skill involves. I talk in Mastery about a guy named Paul Graham, Y Combinator, etc. Paul was one of the earliest people to get into AI back in the late 70s. He was a coder. He was really into computing and hacking. He went to MIT, I believe, and studied computer programming, got his master's, his PhD, whatever. But then he got bored with it. He got tired of it. It just became monotonous to him. So he always was interested in painting and design. So he left New York and he went to Italy and he enrolled in an art school and he learned painting in Florence for like a year. He came back to New York. He was a painter in a loft and he heard on the radio that Netscape, which was the newest hot thing, was going to try and maybe use the internet to sell things. Now you might laugh at that, but at the early days of the internet, people didn't sell things on the internet, right? It wasn't a marketplace. And light bulb goes on his head, I like painting, but I'm poor. I'm living in this loft. I have no money, but I know computer programming. I have a great feel for it, but I also know about painting. I know about design and I know what looks good. I have the skill set to make an incredible website, which will be the first website where you can actually build something and sell products for other businesses to build off of, right? He went and did that. And then I think it was Yahoo or somebody like that bought his company out for like $10 million. And that was the start of things. From that, he built always upward. But he developed 2 incredible, unrelated skills, computer programming, design, and painting. And then he combined them into creating this new company.
Yeah, I think one thing that you touched on with Paul Graham that I found super, super interesting was the combination of kind of art and programming. For people out there listening, I'm on the back end of my 30s, I think it's very important to understand and know you must pick the right skills because there's compounding effects where there comes a certain age, which I'm very curious what age you think, where if you've invested 10, 15 years of your life to learn X skill, it is not smart to put that skill and just throw it away. You should probably utilize some sort of element in that and make a new concoction of using that skill in something new.
Exactly.
When is that age? When do you think someone, it's kind of counterintuitive to the Gary Vee where you could start your life at 60, 70, 80 years old. When do you think you need to understand and know this is what I'm going to do with my life?
Well, everyone's different. And it's good to have an idea of what you want and what you love when you're 18 or when you're in your college years, if you go to college. It's good to have a sense of what you love and what connects to you. But to be a specific project, a specific business, if you're too single-minded and you're 23 and you know exactly what you want, you won't have adventures. You won't have that freedom, that fluidity to learn different things, okay? So I would say generally around the age of 30, in your 30s, is when everything should start coming together. Now, things can go up and down. They can have a trajectory. I often think of Steve Jobs. So he's like Paul Graham. He had a background in design, because really what Steve Jobs was a great designer. He had computing skills, but not on the level of Wozniak or people like that.
Calligraphy classes he took as well, too.
Huh?
He took calligraphy classes as well. He was an artist.
He was an artist. His real interest was in the look of technology and the design of things, how things felt, how they felt in your hand, how they looked, okay? And so the reason I pick him out is your career can go like this, like this, like this, and it goes up, but there are going to be downturns. And how you handle those downturns are going to be extremely important. So nobody has a straight line up. So he has this design background. He starts the first iteration with Wozniak. He has Apple. They have success, but he's not good with people. He knows that. He admits that. And he burned himself out. And the company was brought in other people, and he was eventually fired, right? So he's going like this, and now his career is going like that. But he didn't sink down, right? He kept at it. He started another company called Next, which was actually a very interesting company if you look at the computers he was making. But it failed. It was a failure, okay? So it's like this, it's going down, it's going a little bit up, now it's going down again. And then he's brought back to Apple because Apple isn't doing so well back in, I believe, the late 90s. He learned all of these lessons in the meantime. He's in his 30s then?
Probably late 30s.
Late 30s, okay. He's learned all these lessons. He's learned that he can't be an asshole anymore like he was early on. He learned what failed at Apple, why Next failed. He was set up for a brilliant, brilliant comeback, okay? So I guess the point I'm saying is, your career is never going to be straight up. If it's straight up, you're in trouble. Your failures, if you're bold and you try things and it fails, you've learned lessons. Don't let it sink you. Let it be a lesson for your next project and have another iteration and go in a slightly different direction, as he did. He realized he couldn't start his own company, so he went back to Apple, but he completely revolutionized it and made it according to his own image.